in addition to potential legal challenges going forward, Donald Trump has other things waiting for him once he's no longer president. And you have a great write-up about the fact that he's still very much raising money. Even though the campaign's over, the election is done, he's raising money, and not all of it appears like it's going to go to campaigning or whatever. Can you tell us a little bit about the ongoing fundraising of the president in his campaign?
Well, since election night, Donald Trump has been fundraising as if the campaign was still going on. And when it became clear that Joe Biden was in the lead and then Joe Biden became president-elect, the emails, the text messages from Donald Trump's campaign, they've continued. They've continued in some cases hour after hour after hour, morning, noon, and night. So why ever would Donald Trump be raising campaign money when there's no campaign to run yet? Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, at face value, Donald Trump is saying that he is raising money for legal challenges that he's trying to put forth in states such as Michigan and Wisconsin and Nevada and Georgia, and trying to raise money for those efforts. But when you look at the fine print, John, of where this money is actually going, the fine print spells it out. Some of the money, and in the initial portion of any donation that anyone makes to Donald Trump right now, is going for debt retirement. Okay, so to retire any debt that his campaign has. And it's also now going toward a political committee that Donald Trump has set up, something called a leadership PAC that ostensibly could be used after Donald Trump leaves the White House for giving money to other politicians, for setting the stage for a Donald Trump comeback in 2024. Unclear as to how that money would be used. But then the Republican Party itself has a legal fund. They have lots of money to use for all the various legal challenges in the several different states where they're filing challenges. And so, is any of that money that Donald Trump is supposedly raising actually going to be used for legal challenges? Unclear, not sure. Donald Trump isn't going to have to tell anyone for a while yet, too, until we get new reports filed with the Federal Election Commission next month.
Yeah, I would also question how much they'll actually need for the legal challenges, since a lot of them seem to be getting dismissed on day one, with the judge effectively just saying the hell out of here. And all of this, by the way, totally legal. If he wants to say, give me money for legal recounts, and he ends up putting quite a bit of it to debt elimination or whatever, he's totally free to do that, correct?
Yeah, he may be bamboozling some of his supporters, or people may be making a $10 or $100 or $1,000 donation, expecting that money is going to be used to fight ballot fraud in Pennsylvania, but then the money is actually going to pay off some vendor who Donald Trump hasn't paid in his campaign from months ago. So we don't know where this is all going to go. Again, there will have to be an accounting of this coming up, but we don't get this information in real time. So as a result, yeah, Donald Trump effectively is raising money for purposes that at best are unclear, and at worst are being used for something completely different than he's really presenting this to be. Is it legal? Yeah, it's illegal, but that also speaks sort of to the laissez-faire rules that we have for campaign money in a time when we're quite literally talking about a federal level election, president, Congress, and whatnot, that cost $14 billion with a B this time around, which is about twice as much as we had just the last presidential election cycle. So, hey, we say it every year, or every 4 years, that this is the most expensive presidential race in the history of the United States. Well, this time, yes, but also by just a country light year. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Really fast, just to tie this into some reporting that you've done in the past, is there any indication that any of this debt reduction will go to police services that have provided security for his rallies in the past that he hasn't paid?
Almost certainly not. The bills are around just short of $2 million in bills that the Trump campaign has received from various municipalities across the country. Mesa, Arizona, Erie, Pennsylvania, a couple cities in Wisconsin, and so forth. And yeah, they have not gotten paid. They would love to have that money to pay for municipal services that, of course, are very hard to fund in the midst of a pandemic. So yeah, but the Trump administration has given absolutely, or I should say, the Trump campaign has given absolutely no indication that it's going to pay any of those bills, including some of which are about 4 years old at this point.
Yeah, and as you said, millions of dollars. So to any conservative watching this, just bear in mind that Trump is, to a limited extent, defunding the police by doing this. But anyway, and then finally, do we have any idea how successful these appeals have been? How much money they've been able to raise since the election?
So we definitely know that they have been raising money. We can tell that people are clicking on these links from some digital things that you can do with the links provided. We definitely know that if they didn't work, then they wouldn't be doing them. But whether we can quantify, we can't quantify, bottom line, whether it's in the hundreds of thousands or millions or tens of millions of dollars. And we won't know to a T until next month how successful they have been. But in the meantime, don't expect that the Trump campaign is going to stop. If you are on his email list or his text message list, you're gonna keep getting these suckers.
Well, let me ask one quick follow-up to that, because since the election, I know Stacey Abrams raised several $1 million in just a few days, and they publicized that, as successful fundraising efforts often do. They say how much money they've been able to raise. Is this out of the norm at all, that they're not trumpeting how much money they've raised specifically for the recount battles or the legal challenges or anything like that?
It's all voluntary and it all depends on the campaign. Now, campaigns at any point in time can release information about their fundraising. What they're legally obligated to do is another matter. So the Trump campaign and any political campaign isn't going to have to release financial information for sort of the post-election period until early December. So I don't expect the Trump campaign is going to put dollar figures out there, although they could if they wanted to. And so that's just a kind of a quirk of election law and how it all works. And I should note too that Democrats definitely have too been using this post-election overtime period as a absolute opportune time to go and raise money and try to fill their own coffers, because in essence, Trump has been pushing back so hard.
Exactly. And anyone watching this that wants more information, whether about the legal challenges to come or about the fundraising, Day's work is available. You can go and read a number of great articles written about these topics on Business Insider, and I would definitely advise that you do. Dave Leventhal, as always, love your reporting, and thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks so much for having me, John.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.